Hello everyone, my name is Jinjoz and welcome to my Pokemon anime review series. Last episode, the trio traveled through a dense fog and discovered the Pokemon Technical Institution, an upper-class school that provides an alternative path to the Pokemon League as opposed to traveling from city to city collecting badges. Today we will be discussing Season 1, Episode 10, Bulbasuar and the Hidden Village, where we will shockingly meet a Bulbasaur and visit a sanctuary for abandoned Pokemon. Before diving into the episode, though, our Who's That Pokemon for this episode is, you guessed it, Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is a small quadpetal Pokemon that bears a plant bulb on its back that has been there since birth. Inside, it conceals two slender tentacle-like vines and provides it with enough energy through photosynthesis, as well as the nutrient seeds that are stored inside. Bulbasaurs are one of the three starter Pokemon in the Kanto region, leading to most of them being raised by breeders and then distributed to new trainers. This has led to them being domesticated and very rare to find in the wild. They are extremely loyal Pokemon and have a nurturing instinct toward younger Pokemon, even to picking up crying Pokemon with its vines and rocking them to sleep while singing a Bulbaby. The few times it has been spotted in the wild, it's been located in the grasslands and forests in the Kanto region exclusively. Its Let's Go Pikachu Pokedex entry reads, it can go for days without eating a single morsel. In the bulb on its back, it stores energy. Of note, I think Bulbasaur has some of the most dull and repetitive Pokedex entries throughout the series, just saying. Couple fun facts about Bulbasaur, it is one of the few Pokemon where its evolutionary line was designed backwards, starting with Venusaur and ending with Bulbasaur. It also is the only starter Pokemon to be Poison type. Moving into the episode, we join the trio as they are still wandering in the Viridian Forest, and with Ash as the leader, I foresee us hanging out in the forest for quite some time. General bickering occurs, cut to the title screen, and we return with them resting near a stream. Ash finds a Oddish, and while he moves to try and catch it, Misty pops in with the thinnest of arguments as to why she should catch it. It's near water, and water's my specialty. Yeah, sure, Misty. That definitely overrules I saw it first. Embarrassing. Misty still sends out Starmie, smacks Oddish around a little bit, but as she tries to capture it, a wild Bulbasaur appears to protect Oddish. He tackles Starmie, and the scale of Starmie really changes throughout the series. She looks giant in this scene, and it's also very strange and kind of uncomfortable to see her limbs go really all limp like that. Either way, Ash at this point is wide-eyed and can't believe what he has seen. He throws out Butterfree, hoping to catch it by using Sleep Powder. Bulbasaur sees this coming and uses what I'm assuming is Whirlwind as it sucks in a bunch of air, inflates itself, and then blows it right back out, causing the Sleep Powder to hit Butterfree, and they fall asleep instead. I generally try and watch the show without too much influence from the video games, but this one definitely felt a little strange to see. I mean, even Pikachu is gasping in this scene. That's right, the infamous Pikachu shocked face. Its meme origin appeared in this episode. Ash may be heartbroken over missing the Bulbasaur, but his determination is ever strong. They head into the forest and begin crossing a bridge, which proceeds to collapse. While Ash and Misty hold on, Brock can't and ends up falling in the river, to which Ash says,
Brock's falling!
"Thank you, Ash. We as a young audience would never know without you." Ash and Misty eventually climb to the other side of the bridge and proceed to look for Brock along the river, but they quickly fall into a pit and are pulled up into a tree inside of a net. We get a brief glimpse of Team Rocket in the distance on the hunt for this rumored mysterious village that's full of Pokemon. During that time, Ash begins to theorize as to what happened to Brock. While in the Japanese version, he thinks that Brock was rescued by an ugly old hag who was washing her clothes in the river, the US version goes with him washing out to sea and being captured by pirates. But alas, none of these are true, as Brock shows up and cuts them down using a hunting knife, which is one of the very few times a knife is shown in the anime. Brock then fills them in on what happened to him, that a beautiful woman rescued him. Brock brings Ash and Misty to meet Melanie, who runs the Pokemon Rehab Village in the forest. Seems like a really nice place, honestly. Pull up a lawn chair next to the pond, read a book, hang out with Pokemon, sounds like that's a pretty decent life. Of course, Brock is absolutely gaga over Melody, and Misty will quickly and often comment on this, causing Brock's face to go beet red each and every time. While Melanie is explaining the purpose of the village and the traps she set out to stop trainers from entering the village, we get to witness Team Rocket falling into each and every single one of those traps, even ones like the pitfall that they set up all the time and should know the signs of it. Ash and Brock spend some time taking care of the Pokemon while Misty sits down and talks to Oddish, even apologizing for attacking her with Starmie. She really opens up to Oddish here, even stating that all she thinks about is winning, and sometimes she gets carried away, worried that she is becoming heartless. I think as a person, it's important to be aware of yourself and how you affect others. When Misty saw Oddish, all she wanted to do was capture it, and she even used one of her more powerful Pokemon, and went at it pretty aggressively. While Misty is having this moment, maybe mentally choosing to turn over a new leaf, Ash just has to bust in and ruin it all, telling her that she was already heartless. It's not helped by the fact that Bulbasaur comes in and tackles Misty. Ash then attempts to start a battle, but Melanie stops him, telling him that Bulbasaur is the guardian of the village, that he chose to stay in the village and stop aggressive wild Pokemon, and especially Pokemon trainers, from reaching it. Ash is just in awe. He sees the bravery that Bulbasaur displays and doesn't even fault him for wanting Ash to leave the village. Coming back to Team Rocket, though, they seem to have got a giant budget upgrade, as they are now floating in the clouds on an absolute unit of a blimp of sorts. They yell the Team Rocket theme to the clouds, they move towards the village, which I guess is easier to spot from the sky, and they land that puppy right next to it. And while Team Rocket is trying out some new things, they like to stick to the classics as much as possible. They unleash a giant hose that sucks up all the Pokemon in the area. While Ash and the others eventually get into the cabin, it took some effort on everyone's part, including Bulbasaur using its vines to catch Oddish, and Ash pushing Bulbasaur from behind to get him into the cabin. Team Rocket attempts to suck up the whole cabin, but Ash and Bulbasaur spring into action by Bulbasaur knocking away the hose, and then Ash sending out Pidgeotto to use a powerful gust attack. The power of Pidgeotto and the suction from the hose creates a tornado, which carries Team Rocket off into the distance, one of their more dramatic departures in my opinion. Once things are settled, Melanie offers Bulbasaur to Ash because, well, main character power? Melanie does tell them that she wants Bulbasaur to grow as a Pokemon as well, and that can't be done if he is stuck in the village. It's also led to Pokemon in the area to rely on him for their protection, meaning they aren't growing as well. And while I think these are valid reasons, I think the length of the show is what makes this feel like a 180 flip from when we met her to now, but Bulbasaur doesn't accept this. Not without a battle. So Pikachu and Bulbasaur face off, and it's a pretty solid battle, some decent back and forth, and even Pikachu getting pretty beat up. But a good old Thunderbolt toasts Bulbasaur to a crisp, and Ash successfully captures Bulbasaur. Before departing, Brock volunteers to stick around, but Millie calmly tells him to go on his adventure and not to worry. And while the trio depart, I'll be heading to the nearest pond with a good mystery novel, my lawn chair, and a hat too big for my head to relax. Join me next time where we will be going over Season 1, Episode 11, Charmander the Stray Pokemon, where Ash will encounter a Charmander and we will see a darker side of Pokemon abuse. With that note, though, I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.